That's right. I don't and I won't be buying any Tesla stock. I used to own some. I own quite a bit, and it was the largest holding in my portfolio. It went up 100%. But when I decided I wasn't going to be a part of China, I sold my Tesla stock about last November. Part of the reason is I read too much. I looked at my Audible library just a second ago, and I have over 88 books that I've read in probably the last 3 years. One of those books was titled Elon Musk. It was written in 2015. I learned about Elon. Homer convinced me to buy Tesla stock, and I did. But recently, I'm glad I don't own it. And I'll put it in one word. 55% of all Teslas are currently made in China. And China's going down. And I'm afraid Tesla will go down with them. Let's talk more about that.
Best of Us Investors presents Carrie Griegmeier.
Let me ask you a question. If you were a nation and you were the president or emperor or whatever of that nation, and you went to war with a country and they had hard assets in your country, what would you do? Read a book about World War II and find out what Adolf Hitler did. Find out what Mussolini did. Find out what Saddam Hussein did in Iraq. They all immediately confiscate any foreign assets. Vladimir Putin. It's done. Do you believe there is a possibility that we could end up in a war with China over the Taiwan situation? Is it possible? Is it probable? Are you willing to risk some of your retirement savings on that? I'm not. Well, then that you would ask me, then why do you own Apple? 95% of the assets or 95% of the products that Apple makes are made in China. That is true. But I was pleased to find that Apple is making a hard effort to move some of their manufacturing to India. That's right. They're even going to the Chinese companies that make their products in China and saying, we can't continue to be dependent on the whims of Xi Jinping, all the way down to the fact that he shuts their factories down because of the COVID crisis. And then there is the situation that we, meaning Joe, has basically said, if China invades Taiwan, we're going to defend them. That means aircraft carriers. That means flights over China. If you're in war with a country, are they going to let you continue to operate the ships right across from Taiwan to take those cell phones and those TVs and iPhones back to the United States? I don't think so. Do you want to put yourself in a position to be subjected to that kind of risk? Well, if Tim Cook is moving his manufacturing to India, maybe you should take note, as I have, and I'm not going to be buying any Tesla stock, even though it has split 3-1 and is now down to a very attractive price, but still heavily overvalued. Then I read an article that BYD is making a move to replace Tesla in China as the number one electric car vehicle. You got a lot of things going in the wrong direction. And as if you've watched my videos more recently, you know, after I've read this book, The End of the World is Just the Beginning, Mapping the Collapse of Globalization. Every manufacturer of anything that is being made in China right now is looking for a way to decrease that. If you don't believe that, what would you do? if you, just going through the corona crisis, weren't able to get products. We just got this weekend, or this Monday, we got our furniture delivered. We ordered that furniture in March. Why? Because some of the components of that furniture, mostly the foam in the cushions and the cloth, came from China, and they couldn't get it. So do you think that furniture company, which is located in North Carolina, is sitting there thinking, how can we decrease our dependence on China? How can we get that manufacturing? Could 3D printing do it? Could robots do it? How could we get it done in India? Or, hey, what about keeping it on our continent or close to our continent and having it done in Mexico or South America? Or maybe even Africa. Africa probably is not going to wage war against us. No, I think as I said, I read too much. And that reading keeps me thinking, what if? What if? Am I willing to take that risk? No, I'm not. And it's not because I'm in wealth preservation mode. That's a term that Mark put on me a couple of weeks ago. No, I'm investing for my kids and for my grandkids. And I just don't see a future in China. And as I said at the beginning, 55% of the Teslas that are being made are in China, being made in China. And only 10% of that 55% leaves China. The other thing I don't like is the other place that Elon has put a factory, and that's in Germany. Germany's got a history, and don't get me wrong, Grinkmeyer is a German name. My family was very pro Germany during before World War II. So I have a heritage that is very strong in Germany. But I recognize, because I read, that Germany's in a very precarious position. They are very dependent on coal for their energy that they produce. And beyond that, they're dependent on Russia. And Germany's going to be backed into a corner, and they're going to have to choose whose side they're going to be on. And that's not going to be pretty unless we can put a pipeline. No, that ain't going to happen. We're already shipping liquefied natural gas over there as well as everywhere else. But no, I'm not going to be buying Tesla. Again, I made a good buck on Tesla. What I will be buying is SpaceX, and then the thing they're going to put in the back of my head, so that they can take care of this muscle problem I have in my finger and take away any chance of Alzheimer's and dementia and things of that nature. No, I'm a fan of Elon's. I was a fan of Elon's when I first read the book, and I'm still a fan of his, but I can't own Tesla. I want you to evaluate your situation. I want you to do your research. I want you to do your reading. Go on Seeking Alpha, and your premium, there's a 66% discount on it in the description. And you see if you believe what you agree with me or not. And then share your thoughts with me. That's what I'm here. I'm here to share my thoughts. You don't have to agree with them. Many of you don't. But it's an exchange of knowledge. It's an exchange of experience. That's why I say to my tribe members, I have a tribe. It's called The Power of the Tribe. That's at our Discord. And the whole process is to try to make investing a team sport. You know, you think about that. How good would I be against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Tom Brady at quarterback, and now they just picked up, what was his name, a wide receiver, ex-Alabama wide receiver who used to be at at Atlanta, but he wants to get a Super Bowl ring, so he left Atlanta. But anyway, how good would I be against Tom and can't think of his name, as myself? No way. Well then, I wouldn't show up at the stadium. Then why would you show up at Wall Street on a daily basis and trade against a professional team? Why would you do that? You don't stand a chance of beating them any more than I stand a chance of beating Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. It's silly. Okay. Or I could just go and click into YouTube and take their advice. Okay. I'll talk to you again tomorrow. But I won't be buying any Tesla stock. And I'm not saying you shouldn't, particularly after the split. But be aware. If you see China going the direction I think it's going to go, you might want to bail. Talk to you again tomorrow.